Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Improptune live on the weekends here at the Goat Rope Garage. I know it's a Labor Day weekend, so there's probably not going to be a lot of people sitting around on YouTube, but given the fact that we did break 4,000 subscribers today, I thought that we would go ahead and jump on and do a live stream, see if anybody's out there. And I see Dirt Floor Fab is there, Zero's there. Man, oh, look at it. People are piling in. That's what I love to see. We're instantly up to 9. I hope everybody's having a great Labor Day weekend so far. What's going on, Dirt Floor? What's going on, Zero? What's going on, Ross, man? The reliable ones are here. The garage tuners are showing up en masse already right off the bat. I hope you guys have a cold beer ready to settle down. And hey, there's the Blue Fox. You weren't first this time, Blue Fox. Dirt Floor beat you. Dwayne, welcome to the chat. Welcome to live. Jeff H has no life. Welcome to the No Life Club, Jeff H. Welcome to Improptune live Saturday night. You know what? I'm just enjoying life. Hey, Josh. Josh, you look to be new to the live stream. Welcome to the live stream. Glad to have you aboard. Were you here on Thursday, Josh? I believe Marmaleo looks familiar, so maybe you were here on Thursday for the live stream, but what's everybody doing this weekend? Has anybody done any kind of tuning? Ross, did you do some racing today? Was this the day that you were getting out and racing, Ross? And a quick follow-up question, is anybody drinking any good beer tonight? And look at man, let's do this. The new patron koozies, man. What do you think of this color? This is a good looking color, isn't it? I thought so, Josh. I thought your name looked familiar. Welcome back to another live edition. You guys like my green screen magic where I've got my old shop posted up in the background here? Hey, Simon. Yes. Glad to have you in here on one of the live streams. One of the random ones. I keep on saying that it's random, and yet I think this is the third weekend in a row that we've done an Improptune. Josh has drank the Bourbon County Stout. It's probably a little bit stronger. I do have my makeshift beer fridge down here. So I do have a couple beers. I don't have to go all the way downstairs to grab beers tonight. Blue Fox is going on vacation tomorrow. Did a little turning earlier. But that was cleaning up some WGDC stuff. Wastegate, duty cycle. So, Blue Fox was tuning on a turbo 4-cylinder. Zero is installing a new fan setup tomorrow. Electric fans, I'm guessing. And Dirt Floors, I've done some road butchering, a.k.a. my version of tuning. I've got to do that myself, Dirt Floor. I have got... Okay, here's what's going on. I have got inspections, emissions. I live in one of the emission counties in Pennsylvania. But Pennsylvania law, I believe, says if you don't do more than, I think, 5,000 in a year, you're exempt. And, of course, the Super Auto, I think, maybe broke 1,000 miles in the last year. I don't drive it that often. Nonetheless, though, it still has to pass a safety inspection. Awesome, Jimmy. Glad to hear you got your koozie. Thank you for being a patron, man. Glad that hopefully you got filled with a nice cold beer, but if you don't drink beer, hopefully you got filled with a nice cold whatever you drink. So I've got to get ready for inspections. They have to drive the vehicle right now. I know the kid that's going to drive it. He loves my truck, and I'm afraid that if he drives it and he will do wide open throttle like he does, it will hit limp mode because, yeah. Ross, you said, I know that you went to an autocross today. You're racing your Goblin. You said that you use HB tuners to help you find a vacuum leak. You want to you want to elaborate? Yes, Zero. Road butchering is a new shirt idea. We will have to save that one. It's kind of like the back roads way that we used to tune back in Oklahoma. Call it road butchering. I came around a corner one time, full bore. I had to have been doing 60, 70 miles an hour in my Eclipse. Came around the corner sideways, full e-brake drift, and jerked it into a ditch. Blew 2 tires off the rim. Ugh. Josh says, what are some good tuning manuals or webinars that you recommend? Well, webinars, I recommend you watching my videos. They're free on YouTube. That I have personally learned from. I haven't learned from any webinars or tuning manuals, Josh. I learned from doing it and from digesting information from, the forums. A lot of it's doing it. You said that you've attended Greg Banish, who's very sharp. I like the Australian guys, the ones EFI Academy or something like that. But I will tell you, I don't like the tunings. Is it early enough or late enough for me to say I don't like the tuning school? Dirtful, you'd be surprised the commissions are not that good on merch. Yes, the Blue Fox. I drove an Eclipse. That was my second car behind my Chevy Beretta. Mike asks, have you blown anything up making a mistake? No, I have not well, nothing engine-wise. I've blown up a few clutches. Well, I take that back. Mike, I have blown up a rotary from making a mistake. Whenever I went from twin turbo to single turbo on my RX-7, I did not properly tune out the dip. There's a dip on the factory where as the first turbo builds up, whenever it transitions over to the second turbo, the pressure kind of dips out and then spikes back up for the second turbo. I did not get that dip dialed out properly, and so I ran I ran lean enough on a rotary, which any detonation on a rotary blows the apex seals out. Jimmy is setting up an 85mm map tomorrow, truck map on F-body. It's breakaway IAT needed. I have the 3 to 5 pin deal, but will it be accurate? I'm not sure on that one. I'd probably go ahead and do the breakaway and install the separate IAT while you're in there just to be done with it. Yes, Evan, HP Academy is the one I'm talking about. The guys down in Australia. They're pretty sharp. Ooh, excuse me, beer burps. Blue Fox, my DSMs were not quick. Mine was not a turbo. I've worked with guys. One of my best friends had a GSX, and then I actually dated a girl with the GST. Oh no, Mike! Hey, listen, not knocking at all. Hey man, apparently, Mike, you did not go back and watch my video about me killing an eBay turbo, and it come to find out that the wastegate, whenever I cut a hole in the exhaust pipe for the wastegate, I forgot to take the piece of metal out of the exhaust and sucked it into the exhaust side of the turbo. The turbo lived, luckily, but I'm not afraid to admit whenever I screw stuff up. In fact, I alluded earlier on my Gen 5 idle tuning video about being able to swap the transmission out on an RX-7. My FD RX-7, I bought it bone stock, but it was an automatic. That's how I was able to find a bone stock FD. It's 94. And then I did a swap to manual. So I bought the pedal assemblies, on the master cylinder, all that stuff, the manual transmission, clutch, yeah. So the clutch I called up the manufacturer of the clutch and said, hey, I got this clutch. Which side goes to the flywheel? And they said, the dot goes to the flywheel. I said, okay, no problem. So I assembled this thing, got out there. The clutch wouldn't disengage. So found out that they were wrong on that when the dot went the other way, had to drop the transmission to do that. Then found out that the transmission I bought, second gear was toasted on that, so I had to send that transmission back to the guy that I bought the transmission from. Got the third transmission, and that third transmission, literally with the car on jack stands, was able to drop the one that was in there, replace the other one within an hour and a half by myself. Ugh. Jimmy, factory goes in the intake with 3-pin. Truck MAF is 5-pin with built-in IAT. I know, but I would still break out the IAT whenever you have the chance. If you're going that angle, Jimmy, go ahead and break out the IAT. Get it outside of the MAF. Don't trust the MAF IAT. That way, if you were to ever step into methanol injection, you can inject between the MAF and the IAT. And then whenever you start killing IATs, they're super cheap to replace and easy. Blue Fox first DSM I built was a 90 GST. It made just a little over 450. Man, that's a ton for a GST. I love DSM cars. Well, and that's the same thing, Blue Fox. That RX-7, that car scared the hell out of me. Mike's Gym 4 stuff's been helping with the 13 Tahoe and the 11 Camaro. Whenever I get my Fortune running, I'm playing with that one. Was professionally tuned, but should get more. Man, professionally tuned, Mike, you will learn, is a quick tune. It's people making a ton of money and doing the bare minimum in most situations. So hopefully you'll be able to dive into that, find a couple shortcomings on the tune, and generate a little more power out of it. There's some guys out there that tune properly, but most of them, you know, they want to put it on the dyno. They want to rip about 3 or 4 pulls off of it and then go home. Or switch over to the next car and make more money off that one. So it's annoying, man. But that's one of the reasons why I advocate for people doing their own tuning, is that this is not rocket science. You guys like my cinema magic back here? What I'm doing with the green screen? I can probably throw something else on there. Let's go. Cams are about the most complicated thing that you're going to deal with. So. No, come on now. Simon, glad to hear it, man. Third gens are easy. Love third gens. Looking forward to get a fourth gen here into the garage. And then I'll probably try and find somebody in this area that has a third gen with some mods on it that will let us do some tuning on it. So, you know, we need to branch this channel out. And I've been watching. Hey, has anybody watched this Hyperdrive show on Netflix? We should probably try and get the Goat Rope Garage on this Hyperdrive show, don't you think? Do a Goat Rope Garage GRG tuning sponsored car on a Netflix show. Bring the power of YouTube to bear. Dave says, been watching your videos a lot. Have a 2000 GMC Sierra 2500 Cadillac 6.0 block punched. 300 silver, cast iron, 873 heads block, and heads milled 10. CC flat top pistons. Hey, Casey, welcome back, brother. Blue Fox, nobody, you know. You're just too badass for everybody, that's why. Jared says, I hooked my wideband to the analog EGR input on my ECU and entered the correct math. Okay, there's an issue there, and it isn't reading correctly. Has this ever happened? Jared, The question on that, Jared, is what kind of math are you using? Have you made sure that the analog math that you're using lines up with the EGR input range? And then on top of it, you got to make sure that your your wideband isn't being influenced by outside forces. Mike S. asks, when do you recommend ditching the stock ECM? Mike S., situations in which you might want to go ahead and get rid of the stock ECM is whenever you get into the high horsepower range that does not allow you to run injectors on it, because there's some injector limitations that you have to tune around. Then, of course, forced induction, like series forced induction. If you're going out beyond the 3-bar stuff, you'll want to go on an aftermarket ECM. And then if it's a race purpose vehicle, there's nothing wrong with going to an aftermarket ECM, because it'll be a little bit easier to dial it in, but it will limit you on your, like, if, it's not something that is a street race car, like one of those situations. It's more of something that if you are building a track monster, those kind of situations, then yes, I suggest possibly stepping out to an aftermarket ECM. So, it's all relative. Blue Fox going 35, going on 72. Brother, I'm 30, I don't know, 38 now, going on, I think, 138. David's got 42-pound injectors and an ASA hot cam. No one can tune it right. David, what is it in? That's the question. Keeps on leaning out mid-range and up. That's not your cam, that's your airflow, David. Pulled 4 degrees out of whole table. Still knock retard shows up and pulls 8 at 21. Nothing loose in the bay. Hey, Dirt Floor Fab. Whatever, okay, so if you had 8 degrees at 2100 and then you pulled 4 degrees out, you still had 8 degrees at 2100. Can you verify that for me? Mike S., your 13 Tahoe, you will be very hard pressed to hit 1,000 horsepower on that thing without doing some serious engine mods. David, you said it's in that 2,500. Hold on, let me scroll back up, see what you're talking about. 2,000. David, do you have the full injector flow chart for that thing? Because it sounds like it might be something with pressure differential or pressure shifts on the injectors. Or fuel pump, as Zero said. Lucas, whenever you're using a larger throttle body on the Gen 4, what needs to be modified in HP tuners? You need to modify the throttle body surface area. So find a tune that has the 80 millimeter, or ask the people that make the 80 millimeter, and they should be able to supply you with that value. If not, do the calculation from whatever stock is, the 72 to 80 at a percentage, and then apply that percentage to the number on there. And then you just have to do air tuning on it. Hey, Wallace, welcome back, brother. Good to see you out here on this weekend. Happy Labor Day. Here, we can see if we can... make shit fancy in here, right? Ooh, everybody like my Corvette. Ooh, yeah, look at that. Ooh, oh, it's over here. Casey, so I bought the 2001 6 liter. Yeah, okay. Couldn't get to run right. Been struggling for a couple weeks tuning this thing. I decided to go through a fuel system. Found 3 different injectors. What the hell? Yeah, man, that's always going to ruin you. That's a weird one, man. 2 hole, 3 hole, and 3 different part numbers. What's up, Chris? Welcome back, brother. Yeah, David, it's hold on here. You got to look, David. You got to look at your injector rate and make sure that they are not flatlined out there. You need an actual. I'm talking here, but let me. Let's do. See, this is. Let me find something to look at here. Let me find something that is not 5th gen. There we go. Good old Corvettes. Okay. David, you need. Don't pay attention to this. This is pressure delta. This is a kind of a different world, but you need this flow rate chart for your vehicle and for your injectors. You need to line this thing up. If they give you 48 or whatever it is, that's going to be at whatever the base is like 45 or 53. You need to know and you can still tune that. You can still tune that out if you know it's that, but it's just a lot more airflow tuning. If you can get this table, that makes a big difference. Okay? Dirt flab. I'm just going to keep on calling you Dirt Flab. Okay, Dirt Floor? Dirt Flab. I had 13 degrees in the timing table at 21. KR pulled it down to 5. Was trying to verify if it was actual knockout timing to 9 and relog. KR pulled it down to 1 degrees. Listen, Dirt Floor, if it is... false knock, it should, if you are at the same RPMs, it should pull it down to the same amount. So if you had 13 degrees in the timing table and it pulled 5 and then you drop down to 11 degrees, it should pull 5. Whereas if you were to drop down to 11 degrees and it was actual knock, it should only pull 3, right? What up, Art? Welcome back, brother. Yeah, David, with a 355, you should be all right. Yeah, just look at that. You might have some weird crap going on with injector flow rate. Everybody like my new Corvette? Back there. This garage is way too clean to ever be mine. Way too clean to ever be anything in the Goat Rope garage. There we go. We can do, let's get rid of this one. We'll add one. This would be a garage that has cars in it that I would never own. There we go. Yeah, there's an F-150, and somewhere back there, there's a Ferrari. It's underneath my armpits. You know it, Matt. Having fun tonight. Casey, you say you're running so rich it won't barely run. You think the full fuel pump has too much pressure. Dirt floor, if it continues pulling 8 degrees, it's probably false knock. You just need to... Yeah, you can desensitize it and YOLO it, yes, by all means. Get somebody to get in there and ride the throttle out to, hold it at 2100 RPMs and listen for it. Casey, running so rich, fuel pump has too much pressure. I mean... You should still... It doesn't... Well... The aftermarket pump should be an issue. I mean, the aftermarket pump should just be able to supply you more fuel whenever you need it. Yeah, Casey, the fridge fund made it this high. Apparently you missed out on the fact that I had my garage fridge die on Wednesday and my hot water heater die on Thursday. So there's a lot of funds going on right now. But yeah, as I said, it's just whenever you do something like that, if you're looking at your pressure, if you have, this is a bad example, take into account that this is a pressure delta. So at 74, this is actually 60 psi. So if you look at, somewhere here in the 80s, you're still, it's just a static flow rate. You should be able to tune, your air fuel tables appropriately because of that. So if you were running this much pressure, you might need 40% duty cycle, whereas if you're running this much pressure, you might need 50% duty cycle. That's the only difference. Shouldn't really make a difference, You should be able to tune out of the rich situation. You just need to go back and keep on dialing that crap in. Matt Cross says, VVT delete in a 4th gen Camaro. Does turning off VVT also kill the advance? Or do you need to also... No, it should kill the advance. If you turn off VVT, if you go into the variable camshaft and disable it, it should kill the advance. That being said, there is absolutely nothing wrong with going in and zeroing the intake camshaft desired angle tables. So, by all means, jump in there. Boom. In fact, this is a stock LS7. Everybody's like, oh, variable camshafts, you're going to get more power. That's why the stock LS7 has a non-variable camshaft. Variable camshaft is there for fuel economy, dirt flab, dirt floor fab. You've got to stop, brother. You're not going to be able to afford any more project cars. You keep on tipping me. But thank you. I do appreciate it. Have a smoky-ass burnout up there at top. Pow, 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 pow. So, even I am one of the few people that is totally on board with the idea of taking the factory camshaft and basically limiting it to about 5 to 7 degrees of advance on the factory camshaft even, and just getting away with what it's doing is it's just trying to find more fuel economy. That's how they kind of fool all that crap. It's annoying. Mike S., upcoming Global B is going to be a tuner's nightmare. Global A was already a tuner's nightmare. Man, that platform was very locked down and a pain in the ass. That's why you see things like the newest ECMs having to be sent in for unlocked chips to be installed and crap like that. Global B is going to be more of the same. Luckily, we have very intelligent people at the companies like HB Tuners and EFI Live, even if I don't agree with some of the things they do half the time. That's a story for a different day. They will figure out a way to unlock portions of the ECM, TCM, BCM, FCPM, whatever the hell else there is. They will figure out ways to unlock those things so that we can do tuning on it. Thank you, Casey. You deserve a John Force burnout. Let's see if we can get one up here on the screen. Where's it at? Should have been a burnout somewhere. Ultimate failure on my part. So Global B is going to be... It's going to be something else. We will see how much it costs for us to unlock our ECMs on Global B. And the thing about it is, what I do at some point in time here in the next probably year and a half will require me to find a Generation 6 vehicle platform to do tuning on. The question is whether or not I'll be able to convince my wife to allow me to buy her. Oh, man, it's all the way at the bottom. My bad, Casey. We missed out on your burnout. Dude, I suck. Sorry, bro. If I could prompt a burnout for you right now, I would. What up, Nick? AKA HJ. Oh, this is bullshit. I feel so bad, Casey. I feel so bad. You didn't get your John Force burnout. That's bullshit. So, as I said, who knows? I will be anxious to see I think the new Corvette's going to be one of the first ones on the Global B. Really odd that they would use that one as a test bed for the Global B. Normally they would use like a mid-size sedan or something. Like that's a great thing for the Malibus and stuff like that. They did the same thing with the 2 to 3 or the 3 to 4 generations on the GTOs. So it'll be interesting. So, we'll see. Cheers, everybody. Cheers. There you go. Dirt Floor threw up $2. This is Casey's burnout that's getting ready. It better pop here, right? It should rip a sweet-ass burnout right here in this corner. You know, Nick, oddly enough, whenever I got my Corvette, my C6, there it is. There's that burnout for Casey. I had my GTO. I had my 05 GTO. They had just came out with the LS3. And so I was out at the bar one night. And I was like, oh man, Chevy came out with this sweet new engine called the LS3. It's a 6.2 liter. It's supposed to make like 426 horsepower or some shit like that. I don't remember how much the LS3 was supposed to make. So it was like, okay, the two platforms that the LS3 is going to come out is the 2008 C6 Corvette and the G8 GXP. So I went down to the Pontiac house the next morning, might have been slightly hungover, said, hey, I need a G8 with an LS3. And they said, oh, GXPs aren't coming out like for a few months. Yeah. I was like, really, man? I was really wanting something with the LS3 in it. I said, the Corvette's the only way that you can go right now. So I drove straight over to the Chevy house, piled out of my GTO, once again, a little bit hungover. And the salesman's sitting there and he goes, hey, can I help you? And I said, yeah, I'm looking for a Corvette with an LS3. He said, we got one of them. We got a silver one. It's on the showroom floor right now. He said, show it to me. Walked in, he showed it to me. I said, okay. He goes, what's up? And I go, I want that. He goes, okay. I said, no, I'm buying this car off of you. I was like, I tell you what, I'm going to trade my GTO in on it. I've got the employee discount, military discount thing for the Corvette. Here's my paperwork or whatever. I was like, do up the paperwork. Let's get it done. And That's how I bought my Corvette. And then I sobered up about 2 hours later and was like, holy shit, what did I do? Kyle says, do you have any experience with AFI's fuel injectors off Summit? I do not. Anybody here in the chat have any experience with those? What are you looking to, what are you asking, Kyle? Specifically, is there something in particular that you're asking about? Everybody fall asleep on me? It's only 10:30 Eastern. Look at that Ford back there. Rodney, any 6L90 tuning coming? Probably some 6L80 stuff, Rodney, and it'll be the same. Yeah, Harry, man, I drove a G8 back around 2000, a G8 GT back around 2010 or so, and I should have bought it. It's always been on my list of cars to get, but unfortunately, it's probably going to be one that I don't get. I love the GAs. I love all the Holden-based cars, don't get me wrong. It's just a shame that some of the best cars that GM has put out in the last decade came out of Australia. So, and then now Australia doesn't make anything, which is another shame. Bummer. Oh, we'll go back to this shop. Casey's ripping an all-nighter. Arctic, a CTSV, if I were to do that, I would do the wagon. And that's another one I've almost bought. Love the CTSV wagons. That might still happen. Whenever push comes to shove, whenever it comes time to get a 4th gen, there might be a chance that a CTSV shows up. We'll see. We'll see. Trying to hold off until next year. I'd like to get to bonus season. Have a little bit more to put down. So, as I teased last weekend, I said, I'm about to start doing sponsorship tattoos. Start what's the crowdfunding to earn money for a Gen 4 project car for the channel. Rodney, revving it with an 80mm turbo. Most likely, any 4th gen that I get will be a 6-speed manual, and the only reason that I'll probably do that is because eventually it will have a Power Glide or a Turbo 400 put into it. How many pounds per hour would you need for 1,000 horsepower on flex fuel? Kyle, I don't know. I'd have to look at the internet. If I knew crap like that off the top of my head, I'd probably be a lot deeper into tuning than I am now. But at the same time, why reinvent the wheel? See what the internet says. Excuse me. 120 pounds. Whew. That's some serious flow. 160. 160? Those are not cheap. That's like 100 and some an injector. Nick did Circle D 3600 LT headers to Corsa and tune went 1256 at 108 on street tires. Super happy. Ready for DOD deleted. Yeah, get rid of that. You still have DOD running? You just have it disabled, but you haven't deleted the lifters and such. For braid breaking, Mike says, you know if there's a table for grade breaking in HP tuners? No, not that I know of. As far as I know, grade breaking, basically, the way, and the only reason I know this is because if you run a staggered setup on your vehicle, it will get into grade breaking at times. It is whenever there is basically zero load on the engine that is below whatever the RPM is, it will start to kick on grade braking. But I don't know that there's necessarily a table that you can tune. That being said, I've not looked into it. Would not having a vehicle speed sensor cause the motor to drop RPMs past set idle RPM, coming to a stop? No. Shouldn't. RPM should be more based off of throttle, Chris. Speed has something to do with it, but it should be more based on throttle and RPM. Yeah, that shouldn't be the issue. Yeah, Dirt Floor's right. Should be roughly around 120. 30% higher than whatever you're running. Yeah, what's 1,600 over to pounds per hour, Rodney? Do 1,600. Calculate 150 pounds per hour. Yeah, 60 psi at 18 should be more than enough. I love everybody wanting to make 1,000 horsepower. Man, isn't that the goal? Let's do 1,000. I want to do 1,000. Hey, if you guys haven't signed up for the Patreon, you can get yourself a sweet-ass Goat Rope Garage koozie. Yeah, look at that. This is the new design. This is gold. See what other colors we got over here. I got this, I don't know, it's kind of got this tannish. I've got a blue one here. 75%, you want to not go beyond 80. Kind of a gray. This sweet rust. I like that one. I might have to keep that one for myself. Nice hunter green. Doesn't look hunter green on here. Harry, just getting the dreaded lifter tick. Doing DOD. How would you spec your duration for a daily driver? Yeah, no, I would keep it fairly mild. You know, Harry, I'm not the one to tell you how to spec your cams out. If you want to get a cam spec'd out, you need to call up somebody like BTR and tell them what you want. And those guys who are quite possibly the expert on GM cams, they will build you a cam spec specifically what you're looking for. Yes, Dirt Floor. Yes, I just want to spin the dyno rollers and end with it still being able to pull itself on the track. I want mine to be able to take me to grab beer on Friday and maybe do kind of like some tail end wiggles there and back, and then just get me home to drink beer afterwards. I'm not asking for much. Mike, you talking about turning off DOD completely? Did I miss something? Oh, grade breaking. Refresh my memory, Mike. What are you working on that you would want to turn grade breaking off on? And we can dive into it, and I'll tell you real quick whether or not there's something that you can disable on it. Because it's obviously going to differentiate between the different platforms. Oh, because it's... Drew, welcome back to the channel, man. Where you been? You've missed out on quite a few live shows. Drew, do me a favor. Go down into the description. There's an email in the description. Hit that up. Send me a copy of a log and your current tune so I can take a look at it. Nick, I can't post your thing on there. I appreciate it, but we're keeping our family friendly. Kyle, I will hook you up. Just let me know, man. I can kick out a couple decals. If you guys are willing to throw some Goat Rope Garage YouTube decals on your vehicles before you go to an event, hit me up. I'll mail some out. As long as you guys send me pictures of it on your vehicle. That's all I ask. Same ordeal. Down in the description below, hit up that. Yeah, Drew, give me a fresh log. Let me look at it. I mean, you're family, so guess what? I'll do it for free. Everybody, Drew's my cousin. Everybody tell my cousin hi. What up, VJ? It's not late, brother. This is Improptune. This could go all night. I just opened up my second beer. It's getting serious. Hey, VJ, I've not had a chance to look at your email. I apologize. And it's, as you well know, it was because of the hot water heater debacle, which I did get swapped out, and I did go with a tankless. What up, Jeff? Did you get your cabinets done? I tell you what, I'm about to have to use some of the beer fridge funds and buy a chair that doesn't squeak. Hey, I know, Mike. You gotta tell me what platform that you're on, man. Let me know which platform. Let me know what vehicle you're talking about so I can look into it and let you know about the grade breaking. Damn, you guys, if y'all want decals, I'm going to have to set something up to charge you. I mean, it'll be like $2 or $3, but I mean, I'm not made out of money. 13 Tahoe. Hold on. Let me pull up the config for a 13 Tahoe. Let's look at it. Keep yourselves occupied. Rock and roll, Jeff. Nah, Nick, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. As I said, just try and keep this. We get a little more out of line on these impromptus, but at the same time. And it's not to say that I don't curse like a sailor. I just try not to do it on YouTube. 13 Tahoe. It's be interesting. This is not anything that I've ever looked at before. So there's one file for a 13 Tahoe. It is a stock Tahoe. I don't even know where to look at for grade breaking, so this is going to be interesting. I tell you what. Well, you know, here's the thing. I had some decals on the merch store. I had to take them off because I bought one myself. They were like $5, $6, and they showed up and they were this big. I was pissed. Not happy about it. Not happy about it. So, there's going to be something that changes. I tell you what, I will do, I was thinking about doing let's see here. Here. Listen, I'll get you your Tahoe here in a second, man. Let's see. Bow, bow, bow. Let's do. Okay. Okay, so this one, I'm thinking about doing this one. Where's it at? There it is. This one as a decal. About a 6-inch wide decal. But it'll be black on white. Or I can do a like a single color like vinyl decal like Goat Rope Garage. So you guys tell me, what do you think? Would you rather have this decal up here like with a white background and it would be like kind of cut out around the shape of it? I'm trying to do this, but it's like doing things in a mirror. So it makes me feel like stupid. Or would you rather have like a band or a bar style decal? Hold on, Matt. Hold on. I got to jump into this tune here. You guys got to go a little slow. This is Improptune. You got to stay slow here because if we get going too fast, I can't keep up. I don't even know where to look on here for grade breaking, but we're going to look. I'm going to scrub through here. You guys are going to scrub through here with me. In fact, the first thing that we can do is we can go into the navigator. Yeah, there's nothing directly attached to it. You guys are saying the standard, the goat head. This one. This logo. Gotcha. You know where it's going to be? Probably under transient somewhere. Well, Drew, I can probably do you a custom one since you're family and all. I don't know. That's very interesting. I've never thought about... You know what? It might be actually a trans thing. Okay. I'll tell you what. Let's not get hung up on that. I'm going to make a note. I'm going to make a note to research grade breaking. Excuse me. I'm going to add it directly to my... Here's the crap that I need to do videos on. And I will do a video on grade breaking. That way we can figure out. Because now you've piqued my interest. That should be something in the engine somewhere. Or the transmission most likely. Because obviously you're not going to have grade breaking on a manual. So I'm going to figure out where. I've got a list here somewhere. You know what? Let's make this easy. My stuff's broke. Where is it at? Okay, hold on. Let me shift this back over. Okay. Mike, go down into the comments for this video, not the chat room, but in the comments, put a comment down there that says grade breaking video. And then whenever I see that populate up, I can just click on that and I can add that to future videos. If that makes any sense. That probably doesn't make a lot of sense, but do that. That makes it the easiest for me, because if not, I've got to go through like 6 menus. Dirt Floor, if you have time, could you explain how to set up Lambda on the logger? Just figured out how to set up AFR error math about 2 weeks ago, but would like to read in Lambda on my Corded Pro. You've got the 1st Gen Pro? What? Okay, let's... Dirt Floor, give me what you're working with. You working with the MPV i1? You're bringing it in on analog or serial? What gauge are you working with, or wideband are you working with? And are you working specifically on pump gas, or are you working on flex fuel? Because there's a lot of variables that go into how we can set this thing up. Check this out. We're drinking. The cat's eyes are green. Sparkle Puff. Galaxy Starfighter. Defender of the Universe. It's made in Canada. I don't know if there's any Canadians in here, but this is about the only thing worth a damn made in the... I can't say that. I believe the Camaro is made in Canada. Got really quiet in here all of a sudden. I don't know if there's just some lag going on or if everybody's falling asleep. It's pretty early, isn't it? Analog. 30, 4110 AEMs. AEMs are all pretty much standard. Michigan Gas has like 14% ethanol content, but pump 93. Well, no, Dirt Floor is the question is, are you running a flex fuel sensor on the car? Are you, if you're not, Bush Light. No, Mike, listen, there's probably something there that we can figure out. Just, as I said, put it down in the comments section to remind me, because I have bad memory. I know you did, Ross. You're supposed to tell me if you beat all the other goblins or gremlins, or hopefully not. Hopefully you beat any gremlins. Yes, it is, VJ. You are correct. And so that leads me to believe that is something on the transmission tune. Okay, so Dirt Floor, looking at... Hold on. Casey, what do? You work in a prison? Listen, Dirt Floor, on the 4110, since it does not have the option to switch over, you need to do there should be math. Okay, hold on. This is why I like the 330 or whatever it's called. Let's do this. There is a constant here that you can do on that model. I don't even know if they necessarily do that model anymore. Oh, there it is. Chrono with line, Casey, come on now. Oh, did not mean to do that. Let's try it this way. Yeah, Brian, that's a good place. Yeah, well, there's nothing wrong with that if you're only doing, leaving your wideband mounted while you're doing your tuning. Just throw it in that spot, and then whenever you're done, you can take it back out. If you're somebody that wants to be able to have that thing around all the time, that's something different. Okay. Excuse me, dirt floor. Here we go. This is it. If you're using the analog, you're already set up on this scale, the 0 to 10, and then 5 to 19.8. You just need to change your analog scaling to match the lambda scaling, where 0 equals 0.68, 3, and then 5 equals 1.365. What the hell, Ross? Why did you get second? And how did he beat you for 7 seconds? What do we need to do to smoke this guy next time? Matt Cross, yes you can. Even more so, it's less about the spark adder. It's more about the fuel stuff. Make sure you disable all the fuel stuff, Matt, for catalytic converters. Dirt Floor, does this answer your question, though? If you're using the analog, this is the easiest way. If you are using serial, though, which I don't know that this gauge necessarily has serial. Wow. Yeah, it does. You can use serial on this one. I've got a video out there if you want to use serial. You can do basically a calculation shift between the two. So where are we at? 26 viewers. 26. That's pretty good. That's pretty good for it's Labor Day weekend and people are out. Hell, I don't know. What do people do on Labor Day weekend? Why aren't you at the shop working on stuff? Why aren't you watching the Goat Rope Garage Improptune live Saturday night stream? Josh, no, I do not. Josh says whenever you're calibrating and you constantly have 10% ethanol in your local pump, do you change your stoic value to the 14.1 to 14.2 range? No, Josh, honestly, because about everything's going to be running 14 or running around that 10%, 5 to 10% range. Dude, I just dial that stuff in. Let your airflow tables correct the difference and just be done with it. Dude, Ross, his engine had 350 horsepower and yours is only 205. So next time you see him, you're going to be making what, 425? So let's get it done. Hey, therefore, man, email me if you have any issues setting up the math equation. I'll help you out on that one, man. I have no issues. The email's down in the description. Just make sure that you put your screen name on there so I know it's you, because I filter out most people that email that one as kind of the business email. But if you let me know that's you and you need help setting up your math equation to scale properly for Lambda on that, I have no issues on that. Mike, I do not have any videos on segment swaps because I've never done a segment swap. So I don't do any videos on stuff that I'm not familiar with because that's dangerous. So... Dude, what up, SS8? Where you been, brother? This is the guy that shows up and lets me know that my volume's not loud enough. Can you hear me all right? Do I need to turn my mic up? Just messing with you, man. Nick, on tuning with your wideband in bank 1, how much variance or accuracy difference would I find in my AFR by putting my sensor in bank 2? Look at your Narrow bands, put your narrow bands back in, go into closed loop and look at the difference between the two banks there, and that will give you an idea of what your variation would be in between the two. Justin, welcome, man. Keep your head down, man. Don't let that hurricane get you. Randy, yes. Glad to see that you showed up, Randy. Super excited about your live stream. Everybody, if you have not subscribed to Lowbuck LS's channel, he is doing a live stream next Friday, and he's giving away a $25 Summit gift card. You need to go out there and search for his latest video, which is up right now. Lowbuck, you know what? I'll put a link in there because I don't think that you can. All you got to do is go over, watch Lowbuck's latest video, and then put a comment on there, and then show up for the live stream next Friday, and you have the chance to win a gift card from Summit. Who doesn't want a gift card from Summit? There's the live stream link. Let me see if I can find the... There we go. There it is. There it is. Okay. There you go. There's the link to Lowbuck's video. Go over there. Watch that video. Put a, you know, you got to subscribe. If you have not already subscribed, go over there, subscribe. Put a comment down in his video, and then show up Friday to his live stream. Lowbuck, what time is your live stream? Ross, if we don't do at least 425, I'll be disappointed and disown you from the garage. Mike, 4L80 and a 4th gen. That's what I'm talking about, brother. Let's do it. Let's get it done. I'm ready to just... I want to throw TH400s and everything. Everything. That's what I like to see. A couple days off, throwing parts at the car. Gotta love a long weekend. I have got to turn the boost down tomorrow. Got too much boost. Too much boost. 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. That's probably in Canada. I'm just teasing. I know. That's between Central and what's that place on the West Coast? West Coast time? You're lucky you did this on a Friday, Randy, because 9 o'clock is my bedtime. If you'd done this any other time. Yeah, Mike, I get that. I get that. What do you mean, dirt floor? Turned down for what? What? Why are all of your names pink? I don't like that. Let me see if I can fix that. Justin, no, it is not. I need more information on what's going on, Justin. You got a cam on your Gen 5? What is your Gen 5? Like, give me some details. Casey, 4L80 are now behind the 8.1. You'll have the 4L80 will be a lot easier. Allison would just be badass, though. Your last name is Sup? Mike Sup? Sup, Mike. See if oh. Hell, I can't do that. I gotta do it over here. Nick, I appreciate it, man. Hopefully, this weekend has been very slow, but I understand it is a holiday weekend, so. Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, and Randy's got a good point. Easier to find parts for the 4L80. I'll be honest with you, Nick. I just enjoy jumping on here and being able to chat with you guys. You guys make my weekends. Very much enjoy just hanging out with everybody. Let's change this up, though. Let's, Well, Nick, that's why they make Super Chat, man. Guys are just going to have to pay for my attention. Let's try this. Let's see if we can fix this out, because I'm not liking the fact that this is not changing colors and everybody's pink for some reason. What's up? Terrible. Terrible. Randy, that is just one of the worst dad jokes ever. Justin recently put a cam on my 2016 SS M6 Camaro. I have swapped to Granatelli 0 ohm wires, checked coils, compression tested, but still getting drastic misfires. Justin, did you watch the video I put out today about tuning for a Gen 5 cam? You getting misfires at idle? Like, give me an example of when you're getting misfires. Casey, seriously? Look, you got bleeded out there. It started on number 3, replaced plug, then it went to 4 and 8. As I replace plugs, it jumps to different cylinders. Thanks, Josh. I appreciate it. Have a smoky-ass burnout. Only at idle. Justin. Look at your timing at idle. Watch my latest video. Ross, please send me this video. Can I post it if you do? Of your son going straight Mad Max Road Warrior with your Goblin, taking it off-road, bending the suspension a little. It wouldn't accept improper spelling either. Ross. Glad to hear that Ian's all right. Justin. Nick, I'm not sure what that's about, but thank you. Justin. I'm not sure what your misfire is. Hey, Jeff. Thank you, brother. Anytime. That's what I'm here for. Let me try get some. Okay. You guys, you're flooding me here. I'm trying to keep track of everything. Sup? Having a misfire in cylinder 5 loaded up the PID's current history. History keeps clearing out every little while. Is there a way to change it so that it does not happen? Not that I know of. To be honest with you, I don't think so. It's it's one of those things that I think that is probably not there necessarily for our use, but for manufacturer use, things like that. So I'm not quite sure. Randy, what were you playing with the in-laws? Were you playing pitch? Because if you were playing pitch and you backed out, thanks, Wallace. This is a different variation of watching the chat window here, so I'll play with it a little bit and see if we can, I can make you guys red or something. Oh, like a good orange. Now I can bump your text size up so it makes it easier to read. Let's do it this way. I'll bring it all the way down. Then let's move this over. Kind of put it down here in the corner. There. How we go? How's that? How's that work for everybody? We good? We good over here? Yeah, Ross, make sure and let me know whenever you do that. I'll throw it out there. Jeff, you got it. Hey, Silver Dragon, thank you for subscribing. Nervous about screwing something up if I try to tune my 99 Trans Am WS6. Any chance you're in the DFW area? I wish. I'm from Oklahoma. And no, I do not allow people to pay me for a tune. But you can join the Patreon. It's down in the description. The big thing about the Patreon, Silver Dragon, is that you still do the tuning. I just kind of help guide you in the right direction. Because, listen, anybody can tune. Anybody can tune. Promise you. I can tune, so you can tune. And my big thing is just teaching you to understand what you need to do to learn how to tune. Get you on the right path. And then turn you loose. So, now, being that you are on a 99 Trans Am means you're on a P01 most likely. There are some picadillos to that ECM platform that makes it a little bit dangerous because if you don't do things in the right steps, you can brick that ECM. Ross, this is the shop that I worked in back in the day. This is in Oklahoma. That's the Super Auto back there. Way back in the day. If you look at it, that's whenever I still had the old wheels on it and stuff like that, and it was still on. That's probably about the time that I supercharged it. Dirt Flab, thank you for stopping by as always, brother. You will always be a member of the garage. But yeah, this is my family shop back in Oklahoma, Ross, where I learned how to work on cars originally. I wish I had this amazing shop. I mean, look at everything that's going on back there. Yeah. Imps up, I appreciate it. Wait until after the first of the month. We're at the end of the month here. Don't join up right now because mine charges you whenever you first sign up, and so you've got like 2 days, and it would double charge you. Yes, Ross. That's why there's smoky stuff going on over here. Ooh, it's magic. You missed it earlier whenever I was putting, crash Fords and stuff in the background. Josh has a good point. Justin, have you checked to make sure that your camshaft is not out of sync or something? Kyle, Northwest Oklahoma. It would be Enid, Oklahoma. Dennis, another good thing. Stock coils, double check. It's a good way to double check. Brian, I am running a P1SC1 or whatever it's called. Pro Charger. Love Pro Chargers. My next car will probably eventually have a Pro Charger on it. What do you guys think? You guys think I got enough time to, Dude, Cobra, where you been, man? Where you been? Why you waiting so long to show up? Justin, you running a 3-bolt without any kind of cam advance on it? Well, Josh, you may not need to. If he's running an aftermarket cam and running it on it without any kind of degree on there and stuff, zero all that stuff out. Listen. Oh, dude, this is my old shop back in Oklahoma. This is my family shop, PCM. This is where I learned to work on stuff. That's why the Super Auto is up on the 4-post back there. What up, Darth? Man, there's so many fucking... Oops. I just said a bad word. There's so many awesome people showing up all of a sudden. I got to use the bathroom. It's back in that direction, so... I'm going to throw you guys to the be right back screen. But in the meantime, though, Justin, your cam... Well, no, Justin, there you can... Okay. On the Gen 5 LT1, you can still install a 3-bolt cam with an LS3 like cam sprocket on there. You don't have to run the single bolt with the VVT lockout stuff. Pisses me off that people like don't explain that to guys that are doing modifications, because the big thing about it is, like, all that thing is a chunk of metal that you're throwing into the phaser to keep that thing from moving off the oil pressure. You can do away with all that. Ask K-Tech, man. PCM, here, I got a beer fridge. I'll be right back, guys. We're just getting started, so nobody disappear. We got 31 here. We better have at least 35 whenever I get back, so call all of your family and friends. may have slightly tackled my green screen in that process. You guys are seeing through the magic. Okay. Justin, deleting VVT, you will not lose that much bottom end torque. VVT is not there for torque, it is there for fuel economy. So, if you look at, Justin, if you look at every vehicle that is a performance vehicle since they introduced VVT on the GM platform, starting with like the LS7, the LS9s, the LT4s, and stuff like that, none of those have VVT from the factory, and that is because they are not concerned about making fuel economy on those models. VVT is an emissions fuel economy thing. So, Josh, you are correct. You can do relearns on crank cam signal relearn. Worldwide, 13 Silverado 5.3 tuning my MAF and running lean, I'm guessing, then running rich at idle. When are you running lean? There's a lot of situations that could cause that. Man, I'm showing you too much of my. Let's get my green screen sorted out here. There we go. Dennis Ray, 2015 Z28 Camaro voltage drop. Leans out my tune. Dennis, I'm guessing that your 2015 Z28 is the 427 model, the 7-liter, right? Harry Johnson, if you are racing, I would not take it past 13 AFR. You're a monster, man. You're a monster. Yes, Josh, he could be seeing false misfires. My guess is he is seeing false misfires. Yeah, Dennis. Okay. Hold on. This is a good one to dive into here. Let me go back up to Dennis's issues. Dennis is saying that on his 427 Camaro, which is the LS7, voltage drop leans out my tune. Okay. Hold on. I've got somewhere in here. We'll look at a Z06 stock tune. Fuel pump. Maybe not. It's a little bit different. I'm surprised that this does not have the voltage adjustment like the Gen 5s do. This is straight. This is okay. Man, you're out of fuel pump. I thought, Dennis, that there would be something that like you would have a PWM style setup going on, but it looks like on the LS7 setups, that is not the case. You're just out of fuel pump. Casey, my wife is working tonight. That's why I'm making videos. Justin. Justin, do you have a log of this happening? Harry, you'd lean it out. Just be careful, man. Don't get carried away. Listen, at some point in time, log your knock retard and lean out as much as you can, but just don't blow something up trying to get a faster trap. Justin, send it. Click on the description down there. The email is info@goatropegarage.com. Send me a copy of your log and your current tune, and we will open this thing up real quick, and I'll take a look at it and see if I can figure out what in the hell's going on with your engine bogging down. No promises. Yeah, VJ, that's what I'm talking about. Throw a booster pump on there, Dennis. It's probably going to be your cheapest solution and your best option, because it sounds like you're running out of pump. On Gen 5s, like you're on the last generation Gen 4, like the 2014, 15 Camaros before they finally updated up to Gen 5. Those were still running Gen 4 stuff. Like on Gen 5s, you can actually adjust your voltage out to your fuel pump, but it sounds like you just need a booster pump. Jeff, that's the secret to everything that everybody knows. Casey, does she review car parts? Brian says, what would be a good cam to use before getting boost that would run better than stock and then get boost later? Brian, I'm going to tell you what I tell everybody that asks me cam questions. I am not the person to ask cam questions. Call up Brian Tooley Racing. Tell them what you want to do, what your setup is. They will give you a custom grind cam that just does exactly what you want to do. And like, depending on what kind of boost, they'll ask you if you're running, roots, centrifugal, turbo, things like that, because it all makes a huge difference on cams where the power band is. MSUP, 2 wide bands on Gen 4. No, there's no reason to have 2 wide bands. As I said earlier, if you want to tune the differential, you can look at your narrow bands and see which one has the most swing on it, or the one that runs the leanest. Look at your narrow band, your long-term fuel trims, and let me see here. Let's see if I've got one pulled up here that we can look at. Okay, here. Let's take a look at this real quick. So, here we go. We've got 2. This is in closed loop. We've got 2 long terms. You see which one is further off. Long term bank one is 7.5% off, 7.8, and the other one's 4, I would stick my wideband in bank one. That's the driver's side. So there you go. Simple enough. Justin, you are correct. BTR sales team is terrific. I love those guys. They're short and straight to the point, but if you tell them what you want, they will spit it out, get it done. Yeah, Kyle. I mean, there's at this point in time, if you buy a cam from people like Texas Speed or RPM, stuff like that, they are most likely BTR based cams. Most of the people that are doing Gen 4 stuff specifically are using BTS base grinds. Worldwide, on my truck, I have the stock headers and cats. Then after that, it's basically goes straight into a thrush pipe into a dump. So, Jeff, hey man, appreciate you again. Thank you for letting me use your tunes and logs for the Gen 5 cam video earlier. I'll talk to you tomorrow, man. Have a good night. Let's get some more logs. Let's dial those torque tables in. Okay, there you go. There's like a very limited amount of people that are good at specking out cam numbers. Ugh. I'll get another beer in me. And I hate to like BTR, man. Those guys, they know their cams. There you go. Do I have a droning sound in the cabin? Worldwide, I wouldn't know if I had a droning sound in the cabin because my cabin is full of horsepower. When you got like 650 at the crank, you ain't worried about the drone. You know what I'm saying? None of this is like voodoo or witchcraft or anything like that. Without getting too deep into the topic, we're going to pull the mic up into ASMR level here. This is going to be the sweet, sultry tones of tuning. So, do you want to make power off of your cam? Well, the easiest way of making power off of your cam is to realize that there is only so many degrees. Ooh, look at that circle. Look at that circle. There's only so many degrees that we make on a crankshaft stroke circle in which our pistons are active. So, what do we do to make power? Well, we take into account the angles of the crankshaft versus where the pistons are during their strokes, whether it's intake, exhaust, compression, explosion. No, but seriously. You guys aren't even paying attention to me. You're talking about BTR and T56 and a 9-pin. Lunati. I like Lunati VJ. Nothing wrong with that. They make good equipment. Zach is setting up EQ error ratio. You mentioned if you have Pro, just use one that comes with it. But I can't edit variable to make it my wideband. Is there a way, or should I just make a user one like you did? Zach, you have to give me more details. Zach, what are you trying to do? Do you have a Pro? And if you have a Pro, is it the first gen or the second gen Pro? And have you tried the base EQ error math to see if it will work with your setup? What the hell? Where'd my chat room go? Brian, I think you broke the chat room because of your. See if we can get this back up here. Well, this is just the worst. Okay. Tell you what, let's do this. Bow, bow, bow. Hey, there we go. What the hell? Why is this not going away? Oh, I accidentally got away with the other thing. Oh, look. Well, it's green now. It's green. Why is it green? Where do... Damn it. I accidentally deleted the viewer count. What the hell? Oh, I suck at this. What? Are you kidding me? Let's go. Apparently, I gotta make it wider. Doesn't matter. Does not care. Ugh. The internet sucks. There we go. Let's try that. No, keep on dragging myself across the screen. There we go. Okay. Bingo, Justin, you know. Another beer will fix the viewer count. I'm working on that right now. There it is. Found it. Accidentally deleted the wrong thing. Just go down there. Do your thing. Hang out where you're supposed to. Randy, I am using Xstream Live. And it's, you know what, the base version. Come here, Kimber. Come on. Come on up. Come on. Come on. Come here. Come on. Come on. Jump up here. Oh. Oh, this is. Oh, there's Sevy. I'm using Xstream Live, but the software probably that's easiest to get started with is OBS, Randy. This one requires a little bit more setting crap up, even if you're not doing stupid stuff like this, where it's like, I've got demon hands fucking chasing. Woof. Yeah, Josh, you know. Okay. Justin, Be careful, brother. Thanks for stopping by. VJ, you know, man, I don't do Facebook. I've been married. I'm on my second marriage, so I don't do Facebook anymore. Brian, is that streaming software? Oh, it's the nice Goat Rope Garage beer fridge. Apparently the logo is green on this. I know himself. It's not about that. No, trust me. I was in the Air Force. I did about 10 years in the Air Force total. It's not about the fact that we have not heard it. It is about the fact that I try not to have it on my channel because I know most of the people that are working on their vehicles are totally cool with hearing some of this language. But I want them to be able to watch this in front of their family without being like nervous. Like I watch some YouTube channels and there's like dudes on there that they get a little bit like deep into it and they use some questionable language. Doesn't affect me, but I'm just like, hey, you know what? Dude, Nick, it's been a good room. So I'm just my day-to-day conversation, every other sentence has a 4-letter word in it. I'm not going to lie. I am by far the furthest thing from a clean person. But, like, just not doing it. Dude, Randy ripping a John Force burnout up there in the corner. What's going on? Ah! Now, guys, listen, my service was just, it's part of why I'm here now is because I spent a lot of time in the Air Force and I was an aircraft electrician, so kind of works out. Should get some sweet backgrounds of where I used to work at here. Throw one on here. Probably be able to... Used to work on F-15s, F-16s. It's all good stuff. All good stuff. Love fighter jets. Big fan of the fighter jets. I gotta get a new chair that doesn't make toot noises every time I move. Sounds like I'm farting all the time. Himself, I was in school for network administration, and then 9/11 happened, and I joined the Air Force a couple weeks later. No, not avionics, Brian. I was not in the avionics. No. Not avionics. Those guys, we call those the pointy heads. Guys are killing me. There we go. Seems like one of my dogs probably needs to go make a mess. Oh, we're about to take a trip to Alaska. I'm back in Alaska. It's just like it was like a decade ago. Look at that guy. Ugh. There's an F-15 over here. Used to work on those. I don't know how to do my hands. I do not know. I feel like Ricky Bobby right now. I don't know what to do with my hands. Hey, what's up, man? Trust me, I went in and then I had back issues and still managed to get through it, but there was a lot of like tragic stuff going on that was not good. So Ross, the burnout should be here. Double check. The burnouts are normally at the top of the screen because I want to give the props to anybody that rips the burnouts. It's right here. Oh. Oh. Shake and bake, baby. Shake and bake. You know it, Darth. Yeah, I believe that, man. So I broke my ankle about a year ago this month. I mean, when I say I broke my ankle, like I explained it to my beer guys today, they're like, "Oh yeah, you know, it was pretty bad." It's like, "Yeah, no, I broke my foot off of my body. Literally my foot, everywhere that my foot was attached to my body, broke it off." And then I had to do the external fixation where they drill the pins into your shins and into your foot. And you got the Tinker Toy set, like holding all of your crap together. You had to do that for a while. And that was just to prepare me to do the real surgery where they went in and put in like 4 plates and 30 screws and like destroyed the ankle. And so I had 3 surgeries from November until February. Puh. Wallace, go grab your son. You enjoy the rest of your weekend. Thanks for stopping by. Randy, I do have a beer guy. His name is Chaz. He works down the street. Do you have a beer guy? Everybody should have a beer guy. Josh, I'm not sure what that is. Are you sneezing? You have a snotty rag? Kyle, you should not have gotten on here in the first place. I hope your marriage survives the rest of the weekend. Randy, you just have not met the perfect beer guy yet. Whenever you have a beer guy, you'll know it. Deep down, there will be no doubts. Jess. Hi. My ex-wife's name was Jess. Chris, how did I break my ankle? I broke my ankle playing disc golf. Sort of. It's a long story, but basically I was practicing approach shots. And Josh, yes, you should barf on the foot disconnected, dangling. Practicing approach shots. I went up. I got retaining walls outside the garage there. I went to grab one of my putters. And my arm caught the retaining wall. And it was only like a 5-foot retaining wall or so. But it caught it. And when it did, it caused my feet to like swing out. So my feet did this kind of thing, and then I came down on the side of my left foot, which would be this one, and it went and just broke all kinds of shit. I mean, there's your foot compared to your leg. There's 3 points of connection on there, and I fell about a foot, 6 inches to a foot. And it went like that and broke all 3 points of connection. Yeah, it was bad. It was bad. So, I said three surgeries. I had to go in. The first one, they determined that it was so messed up that they couldn't do anything. And so they had to reset it for the second time, which was terrible. And then they drilled all kinds of stuff into it. Then the second one, they went in and put a whole bunch of hardware into it. Did that, and then for a couple hours after that, then they had to go in and take hardware out. Nick says, let's do a drag strip. You know what? I will load up a drag screen, one of the drag strips that I used to race in. This is the one that I almost wicked my ass into the wall. Let me find a good picture of it. Okay. Randy, no, it was terrible, man. I still have like flashbacks of how bad it was. But here we go. 1320 probably won't get too pissed off. There we go. Does anybody know where this track is? I mean, props. In fact, I tell you what, right now, first person to name this track, right here, that's on my background, first person to name this track, I will send them one of the new Goat Rope Garage koozies for free. Just first person to call it out, put it in the chat over here. God dang, I can't get my left to my right, but right here. Boom, 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 boom. First person to name this drag strip. This is the one that I almost wicked my 2008 Corvette up onto the... Oh! M-Sup nailed it right off the bat. Yes, you are correct. It is Thunder Valley. If you were to look somewhere right about there is where I almost wrapped my 2008 Corvette into the wall at Thunder Valley. Next pass was the first time that I broke into the 11s on the stock run flats. So at that point in time, it was the fastest quarter mile time on the run flats on the C6 Corvette. IMSUP. No, well, you got it right the first time, ding dong. And you're just making guesses because you know I'm from Oklahoma. But nonetheless, hit up the email, IMSUP, down in the description. Hit up the info at goatropegarage.com. I'll send you a koozie. Okay? Shoot me your address. Excuse me. Well, if you were there in 2016, you probably ran my stepdad in his 71 Nova. Well, I mean, you wouldn't have ran it because, I mean, that was like a 7-second car. But Tulsa, love Tulsa. A little bit too busy. Love Thunder Valley. But you race into the sun during the daylight because what you see back there, that is the east. No, that's the west. And so you run into the sun as the sun sets. Arc City is my preferred racetrack. But it's been so long. The problem is Arc City's dragway, the end of their track was really bad there for a while. That's where I blew up my RX-7. But first place I ran my RX-7. First place that I ran my GTO. First place I ran my Corvette, all in Arc City. Yeah, Randy. Thunder Valley is where the Street Outlaws, that was the track that they used to show up on. So we were running back before they really kind of got big. Big Chief, my stepdad has ran against Big Chief, whipped his ass a few times, but they run a lot more street cars. You know, their cars are fast, but they're not, a lot of them are not drag strip fast. Randy, there has been 16 revisions of the Goat Rope Koozie. You were probably on revision 6. Like, the guys that got in on revision 1 or 2 of the koozies, man, those were some sweet-ass koozies, I'm just saying. And there's a slight chance that we might roll out some special edition ones, but we'll see. We'll see. No, I know Daddy Dave. Daddy Dave doesn't have any of his own. Well, I guess his latest car is his own car, but he's more of a driver, not a builder. A lot of the guys out there, you got to realize that, like, what you guys see on, like, Street Outlaws and stuff like that, they are not anything that's considered, like, serious race cars around here. So, they're, they're on TV. It's not what we're running out on the streets. A lot of the stuff that they're racing on pre-closed, back alley stuff like that that's been set up. It's all production. These guys are not racing those cars on the streets. So, it is what it is. It's fun to watch. It's drama, but it is far, far away from a lot of what actually is going down on the streets out there. So. Yeah, Brian, you're correct. It is staged. Most of it is staged. It's whenever they are saying that they're racing on the streets that they're racing on is no. They're basically just racing unprepped track races. They're not actually out there doing street racing. And a lot of, I'm not trying to disparage the street outlaw guys, because I'm from Oklahoma. I'm from the 580, not the 405. You know, I'm from western Oklahoma, but, you know, we were doing the same thing 10, 15 years ago. Yeah, well, you're right, Randy. Exactly. But they're not racing on the streets. They are shutting down a section of road. You know, if anything, there's every once in a while they go out and do a test pass on a surface road, but they're not street racing. It'd be better off back whenever, you know, Pinks was still on. You guys remember Pinks? And that's whenever Big Chief got his exposure because they were running that shitbox Mustang that they had back in the day. And so, you know, most of them are door slammers now. Oh, yeah, no, totally. So, if you go out to Thunder Valley or you go out to Tulsa, you will run against those guys. And most of those guys, they can't put up a decent fight versus real drag cars. You know, it's one thing to set that stuff out. There you go. SS8 knows. Check out 1320. Cash Day vids. See some stupid stuff out there. It's like not produced. It got really stupid because if you go back to the origin of like what was street racing, there were guys out there running small tire cars that you could actually drive around. The next thing you know, you got guys go out there running pro mods, and it's like, oh, we're street racing. It's like, you're not street racing. Like, that shit's stupid. It's annoying. Like, who's going to line up against a pro mod? Like, oh, well, you know, the gravel's not really set down here, so I have to dial it down. So we're only going to roll 28 psi a boost versus 32 that we run on the track. Yeah, no, it's sad. Well, it's a weird, Randy. It's a weird like middle section between the two because yeah, they can beat stuff on the street and then on the track they're not that fast, you know. So I don't know. It's entertainment. That's all it is. It's entertainment. Not throwing any shades at the guys at the 405. I like the dirty cowboy that drives the pickup truck. Him and the little guy that drives the Trackhawk. Dude, the Amish Mafia, Brian. That stuff is so ridiculous. That is a great point, man. That is a great point. Well, you know, to give you some insight, the Asian and what's farm truck? Yeah, thank you. Farm truck and Asian. They had the mailbox out in front of their shop saying, you know, if you want to line up a race or whatever, swing by, drop something into the mailbox, and I swung by and dropped a thing into the mailbox back then, and that's back whenever the Super Auto was probably only making about 500 at the wheels. And nowadays, like, I'm trying to keep it out of 600 at the wheels, because it's not really set up for that because of a lot of stuff going on. But no, like, all of that stuff is staged. I know a lot of the guys out there in the Oklahoma area. I used to race back in the day on my RX-7. I mean, there was guys that were running like 800 horsepower Civics that should not be able to, like, I've seen so many axles snap and blow out of Civics. It's just, you get into this. You get into Camaro SS's back there, 99 SS, running on a Pro Charger. Then you might have a guy running a 2001 Silverado with a 300 shot of nitrous on there that's about to blow all the rings out of this truck. Shit like that. That's just another weekend. You can always find, the nice thing about Oklahoma is you can always find a quarter mile to run. Doesn't matter where you're at. The whole state is flat, and it is split into mile squares. Everything is a mile square. So everywhere you go, you can find a place to race. You can go out there, you can race, You pull over with something that's got a little bit of camlope or something like that at the gas station on South Van Buren and Enid. You're going to have 3 cars pull up and say, hey, sounds like your car's a little bit fast. You want to go out there somewhere and run them. So that's what you do. What you see on that show is total fabricated bullshit. There's some fun, but whenever something that comes up as being a fast vehicle in Oklahoma, they're not about to allow that thing to show up on the show unless it's something that's a part of the show. It's just what it is, It cracks me up because coming from that area where there is a lot of people with a lot of fast cars, there is a GTR out of Hennessy that is probably one of the fastest cars in the States. You've never seen it on Street Outlaws or whatever the hell it's called. That car would probably dominate, 5 or 6, cars out of the top 10 that is on that so-called, the fastest cars in the 405. But you've got a bunch of cars that are basically blown out of fucking proportion. But they're not street cars. Man, you got race cars, but they can't race on the street, but they also can't race on the track. Yeah, Brian, I wish it still existed also, because some of those guys off of Street Outlaws would get their slips pulled. Listen, there's some dudes in Hennessy, Oklahoma. That would put down and destroy the majority of the list that's on Street Outlaws. Ross, I'm just telling you. We could go out and have some fun. Bring your goblin out. You know what? I know where there is a twin turbo V8 that is built by that guy that built Big Chief's engine. It's an LSX. I think it's like a 420 cubic inch twin turbo something. It's probably a 1300 horsepower engine. We could throw that in the Goblin. No, himself, they're not getting faster on those tracks. They're only racing themselves, so their sponsors are sponsoring every car that is racing each other. So no matter what, they win. You can't lose whenever you're only racing yourself. Where are we at? Where are we at? Holy shit. We're at 2 hours and almost 20 minutes. We're down to 20 viewers. I don't know. Who wants to keep this going? Who wants to keep... I tell you what. We're at 2 hours, 18 minutes, and 30 seconds. I'm going to give you 2.5 minutes to raise $2.50. I need $2.50 of John Force burnouts. And I will give you at least another 30 minutes of prime time. If not, I'm going to bed. So, I'm still going to go downstairs and get a beer. But I'm not asking for much. I'm asking for $2.50 of donations towards the channel. Ross, listen, I'm about 1,000 miles northeast. I'm more than welcome. I'm more than happy to help you build a 1,000 horsepower engine for your Goblin. Yeah, IMSUP, make sure you hit up that email address down there. That way I can get you your koozie for winning that competition. And, oh, look at, there it is. Randy, he got it done. I asked for $2.50. He sent $5 Canadian, which means that he sent $2.60. We're going to stay around here for another... Exactly. We'll stick around here for another 30 minutes to an hour. And Randy gets a sweet smoky burnout from that white C7 Corvette. Ross, don't have to be in Oklahoma to build you 1,000 horsepower Goblin. Let's do this. I mean, it's your money, Ross. Probably not going to be able to do that on a four-banger, but if you go out there, I mean, we can jam a V8. The V8, the Chevy small block is the most compact V8. You need to look up a video or a picture of the small block Chevy versus the Ford Coyote, which is this giant piece of crap that does not actually propel vehicles forward at a very fast pace unless they, add GM technology. Damn straight. 500 horsepower should be what your moped does, Brian. Listen, Sup, you're getting called Sup because that's the way it's going to roll down. I'm not completely convinced that my dog has not died on my feet down here. But I do know that the beer fridge is empty. That means I'm going to have to go downstairs and throw a beer or two in there. Listen. Come here, 7. Come on. Come here. Come on. Who's coming up? Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, it's the Tuning Dog 7. Everybody say hi. Sup? We're not shutting this down. We got another hour going on, so don't go to sleep yet. Okay, guys. Give me about 5 minutes. I'm going to go get some beer. Yeah, bingo. I'm going to go to get some beer. I'm going to restock. I'm going to use the bathroom. Maybe let the dogs out. So give me 5 minutes. If I come back and we are below 15, I'm shutting this shit down. So worldwide, I will tell you what mods will get you to 500 horsepower from 5.3 in 5 minutes. Okay. There we go. Down to 17. We lost 3. You're right, VJ. I've trained my dogs to get my beers. Okay. M Sub, sorry, chimed in there. Down to 16. Let's do something fun. Vanessa, welcome back. Thank you Vanessa, for showing up. Tell you what. Vanessa, being that you are in Australia, do me a favor. Go down into the video description. There is a email down there that says info@goatropegarage.com. Send me your address down in Australia. I will send you, I don't know, a koozie, something. I will send you something to Australia. Maybe one of the sweet Goat Rope Garage koozies. We need to get some more representations down under. What are you talking about, Lowbug? Did you not see my compound boosting video where I tried to turbocharge my supercharger? Oi. Had to let the dogs out. The dogs were trying to call it a night. Oh, man, we're bouncing back up. We were down to 17. We're back up to 19. I don't know why everybody is... There you go. Well, Michael, maybe you should have some interest in your wife's movie. What was it? I'm just saying. Now we hit 20. I'm trying to wrap this thing up. I got people showing up. Not that I'm complaining. Lowbuck, I don't know how you would work 2 root superchargers on one engine, but it would be kind of cool. Brian, I know the feeling. My wife actually told me here recently, she said, oh, if we need to get something for the YouTube channel for my next vehicle, we can. I said, oh, man, that's awesome. We should get you like a 2017 Yukon or something. She goes, no, nothing like that. She goes, how about a Macan? I'm like, ugh. Okay, Porsche. Yeah, let's make it cheap. You guys ready for me to break into the new Goat Rope Garage beer fridge? Oh. Here we go. Ballast Point Mango Even Keel Session IPA. It's good stuff. Been drinking this for a long time now. Available basically all across the American United States area. You know, Simon, I had a 944 there for a while. I love that car. But yeah, I mean, I'm not in any hurry to get into another Porsche. It's a tasty beer. Tasty beer. Listen, Sup. I'm not even going to touch that. I'm surprised you didn't get flagged for inappropriateness there. Come here. 7. Come on. Oh, yes. Oh, you my sweetheart. My baby girl. Can you get up here? Can you get up here? Come on.
Could you say that again?
Oh. Oh. Okay. You gotta look at the camera. Gotta look. There you go. You gotta be a star. I know. I know. You a good girl? Okay. This dog was found at a Sonic in San Angelo, Texas. Best dog ever. There we go. There we go. You a good girl? I know. You don't like being on TV, do you? VJ said rough. Look. Up there. Look up. Hey. No. Look up. There we go. Yeah, mine's a redhead too. So was the sister-in-law. But this is my true love right here, this one. This is the tuning dog, Sevy the tuning dog. Dude, you don't have to use propane, Ross. Just use brake cleaner. Something like that. Or carb cleaner. Or ether. Spray ether around. That'll light your stuff up. I'm sorry, SS8. I love San Angelo. Love San Angelo. I lived at, what's the golf course there? Bentwood. The wife and I had a house built at Bentwood there in San Angelo. Look how cute this thing is. I'm obsessed with this dog. Not gonna lie. She's so cute. Whenever we got her, she was covered in fleas and ticks. She was feral down, and she was on the San Angelo at the Sonic there. She cost me $2,000 just to get her like cleaned up from the fleas and ticks. And then she came into our house and she peed all over the floor. And so we slept on the couch while she was a puppy, and she used to sleep on my head. My stinky hat. She's my stinky hat. Worldwide wants to know mods for 500 horsepower on a 5.3. I don't know. I'm too busy snuggling with my dog. Talk about horsepower. I got shmoo power. Darth, your brother went to Angelo State. Go Rams. Okay, sweetheart. You got to jump up. It's hot in here. It's hot in here without you. Okay. Can you go over there? Thank you. Okay, what are we talking about here? This is a lot of... This is a lot of technical stuff, man. Nobody wants to talk about that crap. I got dog fur everywhere. What are we talking about here? Randy's like, it's easy with boost, though. I'm sure I'm over 500 from my 5.3. Yes. Yes. Well, okay, yeah. Randy says he's got less than 5,000 into the truck, including the purchase price of the truck. That's a... Come on, Randy. Let's be square with everybody. That's a pretty... That's a pretty rare situation. Come here. Come on. I know. You like to be at the center of attention. You alright? It's a little bit hot in here. Well, listen, sup. It depends on the platform. You give me an L83, I can give you 500 horsepower for about $1,200. Just saying. Nice, Vanessa. I know you popped in last week, right at the end. We are not Australian time friendly. I apologize for that. I'm going to set something up here soon. Like to try, because there's like a good portion of people from down under that watch the channel, and I want to do something. I want to do a live stream specifically for those guys. So we'll set something up here soon, because I am a Holden freak. I love Holdens. But, yeah, you're doing an LS1 TJ Jeep. Rock and roll. Excuse me. $1,200 what, VJ? What are we talking about? Man, I look way better over there on... what you guys are seeing. I'm like watching what you guys are seeing over there. Man, I look good. You're right, Ross. VJ, L83 cost? I don't know. What can you get an L83 for? Yep, let's hit up the eBay machine here. See what they're going for on eBay. $2,000, 1,700, 1,500, 1,600, 1,300. So yeah, between 1 and 1,500. Yeah. It's pretty good. That's pretty good. Pretty good cost. L83 is not a bad platform. I mean, you got to look at what I'm working with. I'm rocking an L83. You know, my truck's probably putting out 600 at the crank. Minimum. You know, at 13, I don't want it to be doing that. I would like it to be doing about 500 at the crank. Needs to be realistic, but yeah, the L83 is not a bad block, not a bad engine. It's fun. Randy, yeah, L83 is the 5.3 Gen 5 variant. Direct injected 5.3. Sup? Yeah, you know, I've not dynoed my truck. Before that, yeah, I used to dyno my vehicles. But the Gen 4, the Project Gen 4 that we're going to do, we are going to do a Goat Rope Garage Gen 4. We're going to do a fundraiser. I'm going to hit you guys up. I'm going to be like, hey, you guys, send me $2. $2. And we're going to get a Gen 4 platform in here. And the goal is going to be turn $2 into 1,000 horsepower. VJ says, what would you use to get you to 500 with the 1,200? VJ, are you drunker than me? Are you just asking what would you use to get 500 to 1,200? Well, I'm being patient. Well, that's why I'm asking, VJ. What do you want to do with 500 horsepower? 500 horsepower ain't shit. Low buck, yes and no. Okay, hold on. Let me ask. I will answer these questions first. Low buck, being direct injected limits your horsepower capability because you can't get bigger aftermarket injectors. That's why we run methanol injection to supplement our fueling If you want to make big horsepower on a direct inject platform, you are going to go into something that will allow you to do auxiliary injection. And that's where the big horsepower stuff is. And by I mean big horsepower, we're talking about 800, 900 horsepower plus. So big horsepower. LT4, LT1, stuff like that. Direct injected is more of a thing. I mean, it is what it is. VJ said, yeah, VJ, you can get an L83 to 500 horsepower for 1200 LOL. No, I'm questioning because the one we pro charge costs 3800. VJ, my L83 on my truck. Now, granted, it was probably closer to 400 before I pro charged it. But my whole pro charge setup cost about $1,200. Oh, wait a second. That's what it said. $1,200. Yeah, and mine was running way more than 500 horsepower. Way more than 500 for 1,200. Now, granted, I had already done a L86 intake manifold and a K-Tech ported throttle body, and of course the intake or the cold air, that stuff doesn't matter because you're doing away with that and doing your own intake. But my full Pro Charger setup with an intercooler, which really probably wasn't needed at that point in time, was around $1,200, and my head unit was $800 of that. So, you know, I bought shit used on eBay. The only thing that was new on my setup was the bracket. I bought the bracket, the L83 Pro Charger bracket new. Rest of it, used parts. No, VJ. No tricks up my sleeve other than just buying used stuff. The worst part about it is if you go back to... here, let me remove this. If you go back to this shop where I did all the installation... that way. That way. That way. That way, there was a brand new D1SC sitting on the shelf, along with a big block Chevy kit, because it's just kind of stuff that was kept around. I mean, it was, you know, you could walk back there and there would be 3 North Star engines and, you know, 2 Pro Chargers and a Vortec and stuff like that. So it was just kind of what you grabbed at that point in time. Well, VJ, you're right. You know, I did not have the tile. I got the tile after the fact. I was running a cheap-ass eBay blow-off valve. Sup, what is my favorite LS-based engine? It's the LS3, which is the greatest engine ever made, ever. I don't care what anybody says. The LS3 is the greatest engine ever made. It's better than anything that Lamborghini or Ferrari or Maserati or Bugatti puts out. The LS3 is literally the greatest engine ever made. I mean, here's the thing. Let me see if I can do this. How about this? I don't know if this picture will allow me to. Oh, is there nothing? I was hoping maybe you guys would be able to see there's a like 1500 horsepower LSX sitting over there in the corner. Sorry, I tried. Simon, at that point in time, I was buying multiple blowers off of eBay for as cheap as possible. And so I bought 3 Pro Chargers at once. And between all 3 of them, I resold them for about a $500 to $1,000 markup and made money off of everything. VJ, the L86 intake manifold is one of the better intake manifolds that you can get on the Gen 5s. So I would say if you were looking for the bottom end torque, grab it. Don't worry about the throttle body. The throttle body on the L86 is nothing important. I would grab a Nick Williams throttle body or a K-Tech ported throttle body. But I would grab the L86 intake manifold, and that doesn't matter if you're running an L83 or if you're running an LT1 engine. Michael Stewart, the variable timing is not a benefit. The LS3, great motor. Variable timing is there for fuel economy. Yeah, Randy, most aftermarket cams do away with variable timing. And if they don't, they restrict it down to the 0 to 7 degrees range, and that's about it. Variable timing, these ain't Hondas. This ain't VTEC. You ain't getting horsepower off of variable timing. The way a cam is designed, it has a power range, and that power range, variable timing is not going to do anything outside of the power range. You want to make power in that power range. And if that is from 2,000 to 4,000 RPMs, let that thing rock from 2,000 to 4,000 RPMs. Quit trying to make power below 2,000 RPMs. You're not going to. VJ. I thought they bolted on different. The throttle bodies, from L83. Yeah, no, they probably do. I don't know. I've not tried to put an L83 throttle body on an L86. But the L86 is the same inlet as the LT1, LT4. Sup, DoD sucks on everything. Doesn't matter what platform it's on. It's a waste of time. It's there to make somebody in the government feel fancy about themselves. It's terrible. Doesn't work. In fact, most of the vehicles that have DoD get better mileage with DoD disabled. So unless you're on a circle loop track where there's absolutely no load and thus kicking down into a 4-cylinder option actually makes a difference. Yeah, outside of that perfect situation, that perfect world, DoD does not make any sense whatsoever. But, sometimes you got to do what you do to make the government happy. Okay, we are almost 2 minutes away from calling this a 3-hour night of Improptune, so we're going to wrap it up. This is the longest Improptune. It is a Labor Day weekend Improptune. I appreciate everybody showing up, having fun, hanging out, throwing some chats out there. You know, if I told you to hit up the email, make sure you hit up the email. If not, hey, you know what? Better luck next time. Might win some gear. Appreciate everybody showing up. Michael, hold on a second. Michael says, surprised you say that about variable cam timing when there are so many platforms using it to make power on both ends. Michael, go out there and look at every platform that is not an import with dual overhead cams and see which ones are making power off of variable cam timing, because you won't see things like the LS7, the LS9, the LT4, the LT1. None of those vehicles make more horsepower off of it because their cams are designed to make the power whenever they go into that boost mode, like the VTEC mode. And then the rest of it is like worrying about making power between 1,000 and 2,000 RPMs. On a straight up V8 like small block Chevy, single block cam style, those engines, they're going to have a cam profile that makes power at a certain RPM range. And outside of that RPM range, you're not going to be able to make power on that cam. You're going to be able to make better, fuel efficiency, things like that. So it's not the same thing. Ross, you're kind of correct on that one. It's like where the VTEC changes between long duration and normal cam. But what they're basically doing is they're shifting the cam over into a more advanced or a more elongated duration, things like that. But that's because they have to have that other range on the cam to make any power down low, and then they have to shift it over to make power up high. V8s don't have to do that. We make enough power down low without doing that variable cam crap that it's nothing but fuel economy that we're doing whenever we do these cam shifts. Yeah, IMSUP, 4-cylinder on coasting, that's about all it is. It's just there, as I said, it's BS. If there was actual power to be made out of variable cam timing, people like Texas Speed, BTR, things like that, they would be making cams that took advantage of that, but they know that to make the maximum power out of a cam, that's not where it's at. So impromptu tomorrow, IMSUP. We might do that. I mean, it is Labor Day weekend, so we might actually have an impromptu on Sunday. Mike, thank you, brother. Keep on throwing that stuff out in Alabama. Love Alabama. Great state. Man, Simon, thanks for stopping by. You guys have any questions? Everybody. Randy, as always. So we're going to wrap it up right now so ABT, always be tuning. And remember to stop by the garage. Ross knows ABT. You guys have a good night. We'll talk to you tomorrow.